Hey, this is the franchise Shane Douglas, somebody who knows a thing or two about Extreme. Remember ECW? Well, you want the best in podcast, especially Extreme Talk, go to Pro Wrestling Extreme Talk with my pal, Larry Stryker. You're always going to get the extreme. You're always going to get the low down. You might even just get a little bit of the franchise.
Survive by lectures.
Welcome, folks. It's cut the fucking music. Welcome to Pro Wrestling Extreme Talk, and we are absolutely going extreme. I am the main event, Jay Lund, and I'm going to bring on here the lover boy of Lorraine, the Wizard of Waters Avenue, the king of whatever the hell he wants to be king of. Stryker, come on, please.
What is up, Jay? That was a great introduction.
How you doing,
I
buddy?
liked it. I'm good. I'm feeling a little fucking extreme tonight.
I almost got emotional with that intro.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
You get emotional over everything.
I get emotional if I step on a cracker and it breaks. I don't know why.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Yeah, that was a hell of an introduction, man. I liked it.
Good.
We're laying out we're laying out all the stops tonight on this show.
Absolutely.
So tonight's show is obviously going to be about ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling, and the two shows that they had in Johnstown, Pennsylvania at the Cambria County War Memorial. We're going to go over the card, talk a little bit about it that we can remember, because this was in 1999, 1 year after we graduated high school. I hope that makes you feel old.
You know what? It does, but that's okay, because we're talking ECW, we're talking franchise, we're talking Dudley Boys, we're talking RVD. I'm good with whatever. And we're talking Steve Corino, we're talking Tommy Dreamer. It don't matter how old that makes me feel. That was my era. I love the shit out of it.
Absolutely. And before we get started, folks, I want you to, when you're on Facebook, I want you to type in the search engine, Moo Arcade Games in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Take a look at that. Custom arcade game. Man, I can't talk today.
Holy
Custom
shit.
arcade games by Derek. Hit him up if you want something special. He'll hook you up. Tell him the shithead sent you. He'll give you a penny discount on the arcade game.
Hey, I didn't realize that Derek had the wrestling game. I might have to hit him up.
Yeah, it's a big arcade, like a legitimate arcade game. It has like 1,200 games on it.
That would look good in the Extreme Man Cave.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. You're not going to lug that thing up them stairs.
I'll pick it up and put it over my shoulder like a baby.
Yeah, they're heavy.
Okay, well maybe it'll stay downstairs.
Yeah, right in the living room. That's the fucking movie.
Oh yeah. My missus would love the shit out of that.
Well, put it right there in front of the fireplace.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I may have to enter in negotiations for that, but all right, go ahead and continue. I'm sorry.
It would be a great conversation starter.
Oh yeah, a conversation of why did you kick JJ out?
Yeah, because he bought a fucking arcade game and he won't stay off of it because he keeps playing wrestling. All right, man. So let's get into it. The first ECW show in Johnstown, like I said, was at the Cambria County War Memorial, and this was Thursday, February 18th, 1999. Man, it's many, many years ago.
I had just turned 19.
uh,
You at this point were 25 or 26, I believe.
right?
Yeah.
uh, the attendance they have on this show was 1,175 for the show. Now I know for a fact that we did not go to this show together.
No,
Um,
we did not.
I do know that I was with a mutual friend that we went to school with. Uh, her name is Heather. That's who I went with. We were front row for this.
You went with her to the very first show? I thought you went with her to the second show.
Uh, I'm not sure then.
When they
Wait,
when
which one was the half the War Memorial?
that was the second show.
Oh, okay. Then take everything I said back on that one.
Yeah.
So who the hell did I go with to the first one?
I'm not certain. I went with my my girlfriend at the time and her fam.
Huh? I don't know who I went with.
Did you take Ronnie with you?
You know what? I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, either way,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. We both had the same experience and it was
Yes.
badass.
Yes. It was. All right. So opening up the card was Nova going up against Steve Corino. Nova got the win on that one. How? I do not know. Because Steve Corino is a bad motherfucker. Or at least he was. And now he's working backstage at the Big E, I believe.
Yeah, and he's managed to make a hell of a career for himself working backstage, and they must like him because there's been so many cuts since he's been there, and he's managed to uh, live through all those cuts. So, and obviously the guy knows he knew what he was doing, and he knows what should be done now.
Right. All right. Next up, the second match was Axel Rutten going up against Danny Doring. And I do believe Roadkill came out with Danny Doring on that one. I'm pretty sure.
I can't remember, but you're probably right.
Yeah, I like I said, I don't remember too much of. That's too far back, man, for me.
I probably snuck off to get somebody to buy me a beer or something.
Axel Rutten got the win on that one. How about this third match, Jay? Tracy Smothers go up against John Cronus. Man.
Yeah. Tracy Smothers was probably legit top 2 or 3 toughest guys on that roster. He could knock your fucking dick in the dirt
Right?
and not even think about it. And he played that FBI character. I mean, here's a guy from Tennessee. Yeah, it was so ludicrous, and he made it work. That FBI faction was phenomenal.
Yes. With who's all in that? Big Sal was in there.
Big Sal, Little Guido, and Tracy Smothers. That was before. Um, oh crap! Well, I can't remember the guy's name. He came in from WCW. I can't remember, but go ahead.
All right. So Tracy Smothers got the win
Tony
over
Mama
that.
Luke.
Tony Mamalu. Yes. Yes. All right. Next up, we had Just Incredible, which I fucking hate saying that name because he's garbage. He's a piece of shit.
No, wait a minute. Now, hold on a second.
I said what I said.
Well, and let me clarify because I think I know why you said what you said. You were like the Godfather. You're like somebody else I know. If they cross you once, they're dead to you. Is that because he no-showed an indie show that we went to?
That's part of it. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I just
But did
wanted
you,
clarification.
but did you hear what he's been doing recently?
No, sir.
He's been selling stuff online, and people are sending him money, and he's not sending the product.
Okay. See, I did not know that.
One instance, somebody said that he sent a blank envelope with nothing in it,
Mm,
and it's happened to different people. So yes, you're a piece of shit to me.
okay. Fair enough.
All right. Now he came out with Jason Knight, and we're going
Mhm.
to get a little bit into this with Jason Knight here in a second. But Just Incredible went up against Chris Chetty.
The cousin of Taz.
Oh, is it really?
Hmm.
Did not know that.
Yep. And he was in he was when Team Taz was a thing. When Taz broke away from the Tasmaniac and he had the guys come out in the jumpsuits and everything and Taz trained Chetty and he became a pretty good worker in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I did not know that. Now during that match, like I said, Jason Knight came out with uh piece of shit credible. I mean, just incredible. Um and Jay, from what I remember, he got involved in a match. Something do you remember the story? What exactly happened? If
I
you
think
do,
it
please tell it.
I I could be way off. I think it was a power bomb gone wrong.
Was it the power bomb? I can't remember, to be honest.
I want to say yes. I can get clarification on that, but I want to say it was a power bomb gone wrong.
Okay.
And
And
just in full disclosure, I've reached out to Jason Knight, and we went back and forth, and dates didn't match. I wanted him on for this show, but he will be on another uh, Pro Wrestling Stream Talk podcast.
don't make promises you can't keep, brother.
I said dates didn't match, and they may never match, but I have been in contact.
Don't make promises.
I didn't promise anything. I never said that word.
You just said he will be on a Pro Wrestling Extreme Talk show.
If dates match,
All right, I'm holding you to it.
well,
But anyway, back to the whole Jason Knight thing. If it was the power bomb gone wrong, he broke his fucking neck in that match.
mhm.
And I want to say, did they stop the match? I remember something. Yeah, something happening. They stopped it, or
I
or
don't think I don't think they ever went to the finish. I think they stopped it and they had to get him out of because he was in the middle of the ring
yes, I do remember that.
and they couldn't work around him if they wanted to, nor should they have.
Right.
This ain't AEW for crying out loud.
Yeah, and it was just it was a horror. I do remember it was a horrible scene, man. Like you knew that he was fucked up.
Well, as soon as they brought the board out, and
Yeah.
you knew it wasn't part of the show.
Yep. And obviously, he healed from it, so that's a good thing. Sometimes when you get a broken freaking neck, it doesn't always end well.
Right.
So very cool. Next up, we had Sabu going up against Skull Von Crush in this match. Oh, I'm sorry. Just Incredible defeated Chris Jetty in that last match, by the way. Sabu versus Skull Von Crush. Sabu got the win on that. Spike Dudley versus Sal E. Graziano. I want to know who in the hell booked that match. You got Spike Dudley, he's 100 pounds, and you got fucking Sal E's of what, 500 pounds?
They went around the loop with that match, man. Spike but Spike would bump off of that dude. He was a great base for him. Spike could do anything he wanted off of that guy, and he took a hell of a what did Spike call that?
Into the crowd.
Well, no, that was Bam Bam. But what was Spike's
Oh.
finish? That was that cutter off the top rope,
Oh yeah.
and Sal sold the shit out of that.
Yeah, good old Spike Dudley.
LSD.
Next up we had Rob Van Dam. He was what champion was he at the time?
TV champ.
All right. It doesn't, my sheet's not specifying here. But he went up against Balls Mahoney
Mm-hmm.
in that match.
If I recall, Van Dam got as close to the scoreboard as he could have with that 5-star frog splash. Damn near whacked his head off of it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I wish I remembered a lot of this stuff, but unfortunately I do not. But
Well, as I've said, I mean, I'm such a and you can call me. I'm such a mark that I remember this shit. But
this podcast's full of fucking marks.
what,
Speaking of a fucking mark, where's your sidekick at? Where's that motherfucker?
I don't know. He's digging a ditch, some goddamn place. I don't know. But
Fucking
my wifey tells me get a pound of cheese when I go to the grocery store. I can't remember that, but I remember this show from '99.
Obviously Rob Van Dam got the win on that over Balls Mahoney. Next up was Lance Storm going up against Jerry Lynn. Lance Storm got the win on that. You remember anything with that match?
Just two classic workers, man. I don't remember anything specific. Anytime they got in the ring together, it was perfection.
Right. I actually met him years ago at an APWF show that was up in Punxsutawney.
Him who?
Oh, sorry, Jerry Lynn.
Pronouns, pal.
Sorry, Jerry Lynn.
No.
They brought him in for one of the shows, and I was helping out with something, so I was loud back in the locker room and stuff. And he was out sitting in the, I don't know, the hallway or whatever, and I remember walking up to him and I said, I said, Mr. Lynn, can I have an autograph? Well, at the time, cell phones wasn't a thing back then. That's how long ago it was. And I got an autograph, and we talked. Very nice guy. I do, I remember that because it was, face to face, with him. But that was pretty cool.
That's cool. I didn't know that story. That's very cool.
Yeah. It was man, I can't remember what year it was. It had to have been like around 2001, 2002, maybe 2003. But anyway, Lance Storm got the win on that. And then the main event of the evening was Shane Douglas and Tommy Dreamer going up against Bubba Ray Dudley and Devon Dudley, known as the Dudley Boys. No, Lundy Boy was not on their side. The Lundy Boys did not come out, unfortunately. Lundy Boys probably was not even, well, obviously he was 19 years old at the time, so Lundy, you could have been there.
No, nope, that didn't happen. But I remember that they went through the crowd and just typical ECW fashion. They fought all around the arena, and I just remember just being in awe because that was the first ECW show I ever saw live, and it was freaking fantastic.
Yes, it was.
They certainly they made an impression if that's what they were trying to do the first time at the Cambria County War Memorial. They certainly
Right.
made an impression.
Now, who's missing, Jay, on this list or on this show?
Who's missing on the roster?
Yeah, who's missing? Like, who didn't come?
Sandman.
Sandman wasn't there. Who else wasn't there?
Well, Sandman was in WCW at the time.
Oh, okay. Your boy Taz.
Taz was in WWE at this point.
In '99?
Or no, Taz didn't go till 2000, but I don't think he was doing house shows.
Okay. Yeah, those two names stood out to me.
Do you remember New Jack doing a run in?
Wait, on this show? No.
Yeah.
Wait, where?
I think he ran in. It was the middle of the card. I can't remember the match now.
Are you sure it was the first show?
It was the first show because it was
Okay.
a wide open arena.
Okay.
He said, and he was hitting. He hit some son of a bitch with an old Nintendo, and he got on the mic afterwards, and his music was still playing, that Ice Cube and Dr. Dre song, and he said, "I can't wrestle, but I can fight, and I'll hit a motherfucker with anything I can get my hands on." And that was his only involvement in that show.
Natural Born Killers is the song.
Yes, sir. I couldn't think of it at the time, but you're exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I wish I could remember the match. Do we or do we not have a copy of that on VHS some goddamn place?
You may. I don't.
Well, I know for a fact I'm gonna have to go through because I know for a fact I have a VCR.
It was called the Fan Cam.
Fan cam video from RF video. Yeah.
Yep. So that's the first show in Johnstown from ECW. Now remind you, Jay, this was February 18th of '99. The second show was Thursday, September 9th, 1999. So, I mean, that wasn't too far off. I mean, they came back, almost, well, obviously in the same year, but I mean, it seemed like no sooner they left, they were already back.
I think that this would have been a good spot for them. As far, I mean, if they could have packed that building, if they would have announced the pay-per-view, like people from Pittsburgh would have come, people
Right.
from Philly probably would have come because it's not that far either way. I think they could have packed that building up. For whatever reason, they just decided not to.
Right. The attendance for this show was 700. And that's when they cut the arena in half. Excuse me. So a little less than what they did before. But it probably looked more packed since it was cut off.
Yeah.
Um, And now I was front row for this. I do remember this because, like I said, I was with Heather,
Mm-hmm.
and something I will never ever forget. We'll get into that here in a second with the matches, but yeah. But before the show, do you remember what happened before the show, Jay? Or
Mm,
no, let me rephrase that. There was a presence outside the arena that was there. Do you remember that?
no, I don't.
It was the ICP touring bus. It was on the side of the building. Um, and at that time, ICP was pretty big. I'm not sure if they're that big now, but at the time they were wrestling. They were still doing music. And their tour bus was there. They were there. I don't know why. Involved with ECW, but I can't remember with who or why. Do you remember any of that?
I don't remember that bus being outside. I do remember them. I mean, they worked ECW, they worked WCW, they worked WWF at the time. Like those clowns, and I do mean clowns, could go, they could get booked anywhere
Right.
because of the name. Their music was god awful. I didn't like it when I was 19. I sure as shit don't like it when I'm 44.
I do have to say I was an ICP fan. I did like some of their music.
I just that I never got into it. I appreciated the fact that they were pro wrestling fans,
Mm-hmm.
but so am I, and that doesn't give me a right to get in the ring and try and do what the professionals do.
And just a known fact, I'm not going to give names out because I didn't get permission, but um it was either Shaggy Two Dope or one of the other ones or the other one. I can't remember the other guy's name.
Violent J.
But yes, they they have a cousin that lives here in Johnstown. It's a known fact that a cousin lives here in Johnstown.
Uh,
Um, yes,
okay,
I'll give you the name after off air, but
okay.
um, yeah, and
Does he still paint his face?
huh?
Does he still paint his face up like
Who?
what? Their cousin?
No, I don't think I don't think he ever did that.
Oh,
But um, but like I said, yeah. So he does have a connection here to Johnstown, which is pretty cool.
well, that's very interesting. I did not know that.
It is. But let's get into the card.
Okay, let's
All
go.
right, first up, we got Danny Doring and Roadkill going up against the New Dangerous Alliance, C.W. Anderson and Bill Wiles.
Bill Wiles.
I'm pretty sure that's what it says.
Okay.
It's a little small. That's what she said, but I'm pretty sure I can read it. Bill Wiles.
Boy, that name does not ring a I can't even speak to it, man, because that name does not ring a bell.
Wait, I'm gonna look him up real quick because I
I
don't
knew
either.
I know CW Anderson, they were trying to do something with him because Arn was in the original Dangerous Alliance. And I know they were trying to do something with him, but
All right, let's
yeah.
see here. He made his debut in 1997 for ECW. Oh man, yeah, I don't remember him at all, man.
Did he work under a different name?
It says ring names Bill Wiles and Billy Wiles.
Yeah,
Um,
I sorry, man, I can't speak to it.
yeah, he doesn't even look familiar to me, which is crazy. Um, but anyway, Danny Doring and Roadkill got the win on that. Now, Jay, I don't even. Now, this is where my our friend our mutual friend Heather comes into play with this. Do you remember Uganda?
Yeah, it was Kamala too.
Right.
Yeah,
Uganda versus Vito Joseph Lograsso,
Vito LaGrasso, who become Big Vito.
which was Big Vito. Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
who
anyway,
and who was on the first show that we just went through, Skull Von Crush.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Now, real quick, Uganda got the win over Vito. Now, this is where Heather comes into play. We were front row, right by the railing. Vito could not take his eyes off of her. Okay, like I'm telling you, I remember at least 80% of the match. He was eyeballing her up. Um,
Well,
whatever.
she's
Just watch what you say.
I listen. I'm gonna clean it up. I've already thought about what I was gonna say. She's not hard on the eyes.
All right, very good. So, after the match, you know, they do their thing. Uganda goes out. Vito's still in the ring. He rolls out. And where's he come out to? He comes out right to me and her.
Hmm.
And he's talking to her. Man, was he trying to get her in the worst fucking way. And it was the funniest thing. Like, dude, you're in your at the time, you're in your 30s, maybe early 40s. I'm not sure how old he was then, but he was older. And she's probably 18 or 19 years old, you
Well,
know.
yeah. I mean, you were 37, so
Shut your whore mouth.
she would have had to have been 18 or 19. Yeah.
Because I mean, it's 1 year out of high school.
Right. Right.
But it was the funniest thing. Like I said, he would not take his eyes off of her. Like, man, but it was funny. It was he wasn't disrespectful.
Uh huh.
A little creepy-ish. I mean,
Oh,
you're
yeah. I guarantee it was creepy.
you're wrestling a wrestling match, but you keep gawking over and making eye contact with her,
Uh huh.
which was funny at the time, but now if you look at it, that was fucking creepy.
Well, you're not getting away with that now.
Not at all.
Uh-uh.
All right, next up was Chris Chetty and Nova going up against Simon Diamond and Tony DeVito. I loved me some Simon Diamond back in the day.
Yes.
And I remember you recorded Simon Diamond's music on the CD for me.
Yeah.
And I used to play that over. There was one song on that fucking CD. And do you remember who sang it?
I have it on my phone, actually. I'll look it up.
Do you really?
I do. Yeah.
Oh, you have to send it to me
I will.
so I can hear it again.
Yep.
But Chris Chetty and Nova got the win on that. Next up was a 3-way elimination match. Super Crazy versus, my God, here we go. Getting small again. David Cash and Little Guido. Never heard of David Cash. Can't
That's
remember him.
Kid Cash.
Oh, well, why didn't they fucking say that?
I don't know, but that he looks so much like Kid Rock.
Yes.
He adopted the gimmick.
Okay. All right.
He
I
come
take
out in a
it back.
wife. He come out in a wife beater and leather pants.
I take it back. I do know who David Cash is then.
Yep.
But anyway, Super Crazy got the win on that match. Balls Mahoney and Axel Rotten went up against Rod Price and the Spanish Angel. Refresh my memory. Spanish Angel is who? Was it? It wasn't that big white dude that wore all white, was it?
No. Give me 1 second. It's right on the tip of my tongue.
You got it.
Who was that dude New Jack almost killed? Um,
Jack Victory?
no, not Jack Victory. Crap.
uh, he almost killed him at the XPW show, right? That's for
Yeah.
what, in Pittsburgh?
No, it wasn't in Pittsburgh. That
I
was
thought it was at the Golden Dome.
no.
Oh, okay. But anyway, guys, don't forget, check out our YouTube and Facebook. Go back and see some past videos of our guests. We had many, many guests
Oh, what?
in our 3 years. What's up, Jay?
So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
Continue
no,
your
you're
plug.
good. Go.
Angel Medina. He was a member of the Baldies. That's not who I was thinking of. I was thinking of Vic Grimes.
Oh, Vic Grimes. Okay.
That's not who it was.
That's who almost killed, or that's who New Jack almost killed, right?
Yeah, Angel. Yeah, Angel was a member of the Baldies with Vic Grimes
Okay.
and
And
Tony DeVito.
and who's Rod Price? Any idea?
Yeah, Rod Price was he was a mid card wrestler. He wrestled WCW. I believe he did a stint. I want to say he was in the USWA in Memphis.
Okay.
Yeah, rugged Rod Price. I want to say AWA maybe towards the end of their run.
Gotcha.
He had a decent name. Yeah,
All right. Balls and Rotten Balls got the win on that one.
Rotten Balls.
Rotten Balls. Next up was Jerry Lynn going up against Lance Storm. Jerry
Again.
Lynn, yeah, Jerry Lynn got the win on that one. Let's see. In the first show, Lance Storm beat Jerry Lynn.
Right.
All right. Next up was Sabu going up against Good for Nothing, Just Incredible.
Do you remember the gimmick to that?
I do not, sir.
Sabu was he was banned for some reason. But they would always come up with a reason at house shows for him to come out and wrestle his matches. So it was supposed to be like a big surprise when Sabu came out because if I remember correctly, the place went ape shit when his music hit.
Yeah, the massive 700 people
Well, listen,
went berserk.
700 people in the War Memorial in a cut in half War Memorial makes a hell of a lot more noise than 25 people at the Johnstown Galleria.
Good point. Good point. Man, you got a good, when you say valid point or when you make good points, they are fucking valid, guy. Man, straight to the point. Anyway, Sabu got the win on that. And then next up was the main event. Not you. Main event of the night.
Right.
It was for the ECW tag team titles. Tommy Dreamer and Raven, who were the champions, going up against the Network, Jack Victory and Steve Corino.
You know what I remember about this match? Two things stick out to me specifically. One was you and I spoke after the show and said almost simultaneously, how the hell did Steve Corino go from jerking the curtain in February to main eventing in September? And people yelling, show your tits to Francine. and Tommy Dreamer egged the entire crowd on to the point where they were throwing money at her in the ring. You're on mute, guy.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. And we still never got to see him.
No, we did not. You know what? And I remember exactly what she was wearing. It was like a fucking leopard print dress.
Uh-huh.
I don't ask me how I remember that, but I do remember
Oh,
that.
well, listen, you're a
Whew.
prevert. I know you'd remember.
Oh,
Yeah, uh-huh. How's that shoulder guy?
fucking tennis elbow that night.
The fucking guy never held a racket in his life. All of a sudden he gets tennis elbow.
Uh, um, and I'm sure that match tore the fucking house down. I
Uh,
wish I can remember. Again, I wish I could remember, but I don't.
all Steve Carino was in there bumping his ass off. That's all he had to do. And I think Raven hit the ring. Tommy, they were getting heat on Tommy, and all of a sudden you hear Raven's music, and he comes running down. Place goes ape shit. Simultaneous DDTs, 1, 2, 3. Match is over.
That was it, huh?
That was it.
Good night, Irene.
That was it.
Anything else that you can remember from this show?
Uh, just another ECW experience. For the people that are watching or listening or however you get your podcast fix.
I bet you they're watching on Facebook and YouTube.
Well, they goddamn well better be.
That's right.
Um, if you never experienced an ECW show, I'm sorry for you because it was uh, some of the best shit ever. Whether it was 1,100 people, 1,200 people, or cut in half with 700 people, it was quite the scene.
Yes, absolutely, it was. Um, it was a fun time to be a wrestling fan back then.
Oh my goodness. But 3 pay-per-views a year. God bless your mom and my mom for paying those fees for 3 pay-per-views every month.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. My mom, I wasn't allowed to get them. I usually came to your house.
Okay, well then you owe my mom some back pay.
I do, but you know what? I'll take her out next time it's raining because we know that she will not go out when it's raining.
Yeah, just take her out and drive her around.
Yep,
She'll
absolutely.
appreciate it.
And I'll make sure that I put gas in that car.
Meanwhile, she's curled up in the fetal position because she's afraid you're gonna wreck.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. But yeah. What a time to be a wrestling fan, man. And I don't know that we'll ever see it again. I mean, this is the closest we're gonna get, I think, with WWE being as hot as they are, and AEW, while they were really hot at the beginning, they're still getting viewers. And then you have uh TNA and you have MLW and there's so much wrestling on television. You could find wrestling 2 or 3 times a night every single night, but there was nothing like WWE, WCW, and ECW.
Hell, you can look out your fucking window in your backyard and fucking see wrestling at this
Not
point.
here. I took that ring down.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad you took that.
I took that ring down. I caught Joss in there with the neighbor's dog. They were going over spots.
Oh, that's funny.
I think Joss is a Bucks fan, so I tore that ring right down.
I know this is an ECW show tonight, but I do got to say this. It is Wednesday night. This will not be available until tomorrow or Friday. But if you're an AEW fan or a wrestling fan in general, you want to watch tonight's Dynamite. There is rumor of a debut. A rumor of a debut, Mr. Lund.
What? Who?
There's rumor of a debut. I'm not going to tell you. I want you to watch it.
What, were you on the bat phone with Tony?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
You gotta clue me in on this Goodish.
well, you know, if you've been on the socials today, a couple different places are reporting it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
It's going to be raining. It's
Gonna be raining.
just like it's raining here. Somebody's going to be making rain.
Okay.
Are you with me?
Yeah, I believe I am.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All
But
right.
anyway,
Real quick, buddy, before we sign off,
sure.
I just want to say, rest in peace to Virgil. People don't give him enough credit, but that his when he turned on Ted DiBiase and became a babyface, he was pretty hot. He was upper mid card, lower high card, and also rest in peace to Ole Anderson, founding member of the Four Horsemen and one of the most successful guys in the business, whether it came to wrestling and or booking. By all accounts, a pretty miserable son of a bitch towards the end of his life. But rest in peace to both of those guys.
Absolutely. And there was one other wrestling death this week. Was it Vashon? Something Vashon?
Oh, Jesus Christ, I totally forgot. I'm sorry. Mad Dog, Butcher Vachon. Rest in peace to him also.
Absolutely. You know, it's they say it always goes in threes, and this week was oddly enough 3 again.
And it fired 3 off very quickly, and it's sad.
It is. It really is.
But for anybody who's an old school fan, check out Ole Anderson's book. I've read it a couple of times, and it really goes in depth into the early parts of the business and his mind as a booker, and he was very successful at it. So
Awesome. Thank you for that, Jay. I appreciate it. Also, guys, make sure you go check out NFL Elite banner with Dick Smoke and Freight Train. Also, Buckle to Buckle with Kel L. And also the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty with Bad Bubba Brewer. And the other one with Bad Bubba Brewer, the Triple B Experience. Make sure you check out all those podcasts on Facebook, YouTube. Just search them, you'll find them. They're not hard to find.
that's right.
So very cool. So that is it for tonight's show, guys. We hope you enjoy it. We're under 50 minutes, thank goodness. We wanted to keep it short and sweet.
Just like me.
Yeah, short. Yes, short and sweet. Yes, you got that right. But anyway, guys, again, thank you so much for liking our stuff, watching our videos. It is greatly appreciated. Shithead Nation, you are fucking awesome. Don't forget Facebook, YouTube, check us out. And as always, you know how, let me find it here, Jay.
Well, I'm not going to do that tonight. In honor of this episode, I'm just going to go like this.
All right, there you go. There you go. Top Guys out.